What I find very interesting is that even though you had this deep intuitive sense, you still say that it took you until you were 45 through a very successful career, where in a way you had all the spoils of the career,
Right.
money and recognition and the lifestyle that goes with it.
Right.
But you somehow didn't connect yet with your destiny, with your
Right.
sense of what your life was really about.
Right.
So you had this deep intuitive sense, but somehow something was still shielding you from breaking through to what really your life was about. And I wonder, how did that then happen, that you kind of got that extra wake-up call
Right.
that changed your course of your life?
That came about over a long period of time, about 7 years. And it came about because of a personal crisis in my life. I was living this sort of lifestyle that you mentioned, and I ended up with a divorce on my hands and a wife leaving me. And this was a deep internal crisis for me that really changed everything overnight. And that's when I began being much more reflective. I have an older sister who gave me a book. I can't remember the author's name, but it was a little book that said Notes to Myself, and it was about reflection. And for the first time in my adult life, I actually began keeping a journal and reflecting a little bit. And it was that instance, plus the experience that I had with my father when he was the Watergate prosecutor, and every weekend he would come to the ranch, our family ranch, and he would go out and we would do work out in the pastures, cut wood and things like that. And at noontime, when we would rest or we would take a break, he would share some of the experiences he was having in Washington. And one time, he actually brought a copy of the transcript, because I was a trial lawyer. I was somebody he deeply trusted. And he told me at the time that he wasn't sure who else he could trust, to have a real conversation and share his most reflective moments. And it was in that one time when we were sitting there, he gave me a copy of the transcript where President Nixon was suborning perjury. He was asking his top people to lie under oath to the grand jury. And when I read that, it was a deep shock to me. And then I would go in to the ranch house that night and watch television with Nixon saying, "I'm not a crook. This is a big mistake." And the dissonance that created within me of the fact that I had voted for this man, that he was the president of our country, and he was a common criminal. And that created another personal crisis in my life. And over a period of time, I decided that I wanted to do something to give back to the country rather than continue practicing law. And there was another instance. Within the law firm, I began, this is a law firm that I helped found. And we had grown rapidly and grown to a very large size, highly successful firm. And I found that the internal processes at the firm were something that I thought needed vast improvement. We would think of it today as a transformation so that people would be more authentic and would operate from a deeper source. And I wanted to do that. I had no idea how to. And I made a couple of attempts, and I didn't have any success doing that. And that also added to my wish to find a deeper understanding of what real leadership meant. And it was a combination of those things, over a period of 5 to 7 years that finally culminated in my leaving the firm, which was a huge event in my life. It was very difficult.
On our website globalleadership.tv you will find additional footage, other dialogues with innovation leaders from around the world, and also the hands-on practices that help them and their organizations to move from inspiration to real change.